I'm Blair.
I'm Alexa.
And we are so excited because today we have a pretty exciting interview.
Definitely. Today we are interviewing the Chief Executive Chef of the Dining Halls. Really exciting.
Yes, so let's go meet Rick Leonardo. Hey hungry people, we are so excited because today we are joined with Richard Leonardo, who's the executive chef for Syracuse University campus dining. So just to start off, can you tell us a little bit about your experience as a chef?
Yeah, so my family owned a restaurant, so I grew up in the restaurant business. I spent my whole career doing this. So prior to coming to Syracuse, I worked for another high-art company, American Dining Creations. I was a corporate chef for them. Spent 10 years with them, overseeing almost 30 universities across 7 states. So a lot of experience. I was born and raised here, so I wanted to come back home, sick of traveling, so that's why I came to Syracuse.
Awesome. Well, as college students who have eaten at the dining halls before, you know, it's really a vital part to, I feel like, the on-campus living experience. After working with other universities, like, how important has that been for you, like, in your role? Like, making sure, like, meals are healthy, or there's options for a lot of students?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a communal thing, right? So you eat with your friends, eat with your family. So it's really important. I think we do offer a good variety here. You know, we could always step things up too. But I think, it's very important when it comes to dining with people.
Love that. And what would you say is the biggest difference with Syracuse University versus the other universities you've worked in the past? Are you allowed a little bit more like flexibility here?
Yeah, I mean, I came from like a very corporate structure, so things were, assigned, right? So here we're able to like develop our own food, develop our own menus, recipes, and those sort of items. So a lot more freedom here for sure.
So how long does that usually take to come up with a new recipe? Or like, I know the dining halls do like themed days like every other week, so I think it's a really fun part, like as a student, kind of seeing like Chicken Tender Thursday or like things like that. Like, how long does that take you to prep?
So writing recipes is actually pretty quick. We can test something and send it to our team to develop the recipe, and then procure the items, and then we can test them. I usually do some feedback with some students, and then go from there. It's actually quicker than you think it would be. Within a week or so, you can usually have something in to be tested. We roll out a recipe, we like it. We're partial, all right. So we want to see what students really want to eat. So we'll bring in table in groups, or we'll try things during like pop-ups. So a lot of times it's like a pop-up that runs throughout the week, right? Each dining hall gets a different pop-up. Those are all sort of being tested to see what students like about it. So we might not be advertising it as testing, but we're seeing what the feedback is.
So what has your experience been working at Syracuse University so far?
Experience has been good. It's a very large place, lots of dining options and different things going on. I do like the fact that work for the school now, so you're able to make some bigger decisions on how the food's going to be served and what we're serving. So I'd say it's been good.
Can you walk us through a little bit of like what a typical day, how that operates? Because we were talking about this earlier, we just can't get over like how many things are kind of like that you oversee. So you're like, how does like he spend like his day-to-day life? Yeah,
so really the biggest thing is I come in the morning, checking my emails to see did I miss anything, did anything going on. Even though my hours might be somewhat set in stone once in a while, all weekend long I'm taking phone calls, text messages, emails, just to see what's going on. Because we operate all the time here. So I come in this morning, check my emails, see what's going on, look at my calendar to make sure I've got the plan for the day. I focus the most of my time on the dining halls. It's our largest piece of business. It's the most amount of meals per day. It's the biggest impact on campus. So we check in with those dining hall managers, and we check in with the chefs and to see how they're all doing, any questions they have. I check in with our main commissary facility to see if there are any delivery issues or any sort of outs or issues that we need to worry about. And then I get into okay, what events do we have today? What big caterings do we have today? We had the cake boss was here last week or the week before, so we had to work with them, make sure we had the plan right for that. Those sort of things. Really, it's checking emails, checking the schedule, and then prioritizing the day's business based on the dining halls come first.
Definitely. So we were talking about working with students. Feedback is obviously very important when it comes especially to food. How do you react to like negative or positive feedback from students?
I think, you know, obviously being a chef, I'm a chef now, like my whole working career, right? So you have to have thick skin in this business, right? Because you may think something is great, but it falls flat. People just don't like it. So all feedback is good. So we can take that and then we can make adjustments based off of that. So usually you only hear the negative feedback. You don't usually hear a lot of positive feedback. It does happen, but it's typically we didn't like this, or you ran out of this, or whatever it might be. And then we just adjust off of that. It's not like a personal attack. It's just, you know, the students spot what they're, you know, needing. So
absolutely. Yeah. And on top of that, do you have any future plans for the dining halls?
We do. We're looking at a new updated menu for the fall. Can't really get into all the details yet, but we're really going to be sort of changing the face of the dining hall food offerings for the fall.
That's wonderful. Did you kind of get these ideas from like your previous work?
Yeah, exactly. So when I was operating all those colleges and universities across the whole entire country, so different foods all over the country. So I was able to see what's, you know, on demand in, you know, let's say, you know, Phoenix, Arizona versus what the Northeast or the Midwest. So just seeing, you know, also too based on experience over the years. So excited for that for the fall.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. I can't wait to see what's in store for that. But what do you think is the most rewarding part of your job?
I mean, I work in service, right? So seeing people happy, what they like to eat, you know, that sort of stuff. Chefs like to produce food for people to eat, right? So if they're liking what we have to offer or the events are exciting, that's the best part of the job.
Yeah, and I gotta say, we're not just saying this because I'm sitting right next to you, but I've heard fantastic things about the dining hall this semester.
Good.
So you've been doing a great job.
We did make some changes for this semester too, so hopefully when more come for the fall, it'll be even better. So.
Yeah, what were like the biggest changes you would say that you guys have implemented this semester specifically?
Yeah,
maybe
so
for like off-campus students who haven't noticed.
Yeah, so when I got to campus, two big changes. I changed all the vegetables from frozen to fresh across campus.
Wow.
And then we put seasoning back in the food. So there was some time prior, somebody changed some of the recipes. So we went back through and we adjusted them and add seasoning back into your grill items and those sort of things. And then the vegetables that can be fresh are all fresh now. So there's no more, you know, frozen in that aspect. Still corn, peas, and those sort of things, but not your blends anymore. They're all fresh now.
Wow, I think that's really great to hear, especially like as a college student, having a balanced diet is something that is a lot of students struggle with. So to see that like you're making those changes to implement that, it's really nice and really nice to know as a student.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You're like focusing so much on like the nutritious aspect.
Yeah, I mean, food's become very, very popular over the last decade. People know, they want to know like where the food's coming from, what's in it. Those are very important things now. So I think we have to be, on that trend, right? So it's healthier, it's smaller portions, those sort of things to help people fulfill all their needs.
And I gotta ask, so in your family, are you like the big chef with y'all, or is it kind of like you get home and you're like, I'm not going back to work right now?
It really depends. My wife does like to cook, so when she wants to, I'm like, that's great. You can do it. But I grew up
in dining halls all day.
Yeah, I grew up in a family though. My father was a chef. That's why I got into the business. So we grew up cooking at home a lot. So when she wants to do it, I'm like, all you go for it. So
what kind of restaurant did your father have?
They owned a bagel business. So it started out just as bagels, and then it turned into they added like a breakfast and lunch component to it as well. So that's where I got my start.
Nice. Obviously, this isn't a one-man job. I know you do a lot of it, but teamwork is very important. How do you feel like working with the team has helped you like throughout this process? Yeah,
there's a great team here. We have a lot of people. Being how large the dining program is here, there's lots of layers of help, right? So there's other chefs on campus, there's other directors of food on campus, there's dietitians, there's purchasing, there's people that do all the different jobs. So we all work great together.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because definitely, like, this isn't something that, like, one person...
No. There's no way. This is way too big.
And also, this is a more personal question, but what would you say is, like, your favorite item that y'all roll out? Is there any item that you're, like, kind of grabbing it off the line as it goes out?
Haven't had a lot of changes yet until the fall of, like, putting my, like, impression on the food so much. I think in the fall there'll be a big change to more like that sort of food. I think currently We do a nice job with like the Mexican food on campus. They do a nice job of that. I wasn't involved in developing any of that. That's all inherited, but I think they do a nice job of that.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any big, I don't know if you could really answer this because this might touch into future plans, but do you have any like main idea that you really want to see executed across the dining halls?
I think one thing that we don't do well currently that we'll do in the fall is that we don't help the student be able to build their plate. Mm. So you had having to search around to be able to like make an actual complete meal. So in the fall we will be doing that. So I think that's one big thing that would be, there'll be more things offered at the stations versus having to sort of bounce around to find your meal.
That's a great idea too, because I feel like especially for like college students coming off like away from home for the first time, you don't even really know like what goes into a balanced meal.
Yeah, exactly. So in the fall, that'd be one big thing that it's not an actual like food item, but like the plan around it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, that is brilliant. Oh my gosh. See, I wish you came here 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed now.
Yeah. Yep.
I know. I'm considering getting a dining plan for next year because I'll be a senior. I feel like I can use a lot of these implemented changes.
Hey, there's a lot of seniors though who do it so that they don't have to do like 50% of their meals, not making them from home.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted to ask? All right. Well, thank you so much, Rick. We really do appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the dining services for having us today and doing this lovely interview.
Yes, and if you want to get more content from us, you can follow us at SU College Eats on Instagram and at College Eats SU on TikTok. Thank you so much for watching. Stay hungry, people.